Hello. Yes, it's a big beast. This is a 58 inch, which is actually fitting on my workbench, rather nice, but I normally only really work with, I can come over a couple more inches, 55 as a maximum, but this is a TV that I'm actually working on for myself. I've done a video of these before. Some people will know about the problem with these. In my opinion, probably the last of the great TVs, early 4K stuff. And when I say 4K, I think it's a limited 4K because it was early 4K technology. Do you remember when 4K technology first came out? The only way you could see it, or see a 4K picture, is by using one of the 4 HDMIs. So HDMI 1 was 4K, HDMI 2, 3 and 4 were just high definition 1080p. And I've got a funny feeling that this is the same. I'm hoping I'm wrong, because I want to use this TV for two things. One, to always have a working main board. The eMMC chips fail on these, and it means they boot up sometimes just to a Panasonic logo and get stuck. Sometimes you don't get anything, but the most common fault is stuck on Panasonic logo. And we do repair these, and I always like to have, and I haven't over the last couple of months, and I don't know why I haven't had a board ready. So I always like to have a board ready to go. So if somebody sends me a board, I send them a board that's already repaired and ready to go, because every main board is the same, whether it's the 50 inch, 55, 58. I don't know if they do a 65, they could do. And I also need a 4K monitor here. I want to be able to monitor YouTube in 4K, because obviously I've just started filming in 4K and I want to see what the quality is like, because I've not been too impressed with the quality of it so far. But that's, oops, sorry. That's more to do with my software and my issues, I believe, than, well, I think it's also down to a bit of YouTube as well. But I've now found an encoder which really does do a proper 4K encoding. I noticed on my last encoder, which cost me over 100 quid. Sorry if I'm boring you with this, by the way, but I'm going to bore you anyway. I noticed on my last encoder that there was no difference in file size between rendering in 4K to rendering in HD. Well, that's just, you know, HD should have been 4 times the size. And now I found something that renders in 4K and actually is 4 times the size. So, and you may be watching this video on that particular render, and hopefully it's as clear as it can be. It's all down to the lighting as well. I haven't got the greatest lighting in here. But anyway, so I don't know if, even though this is classed as a 4K set, I don't know if the apps are 4K. So I'm going to be very interested to test it out later on, probably not tonight or tomorrow, and just see if the YouTube 4K is actually 4K on these. But I've got a funny feeling you have to go through the HDMI, or at least one of the HDMIs anyway. I'm guessing on that. And then my plan will be, for those people that follow the channel religiously, is to, well, I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. I've got 2 monitors here. That is now a 4K one. This one is an old plasma. And if this fits in, and I will have to move that one up a bit, but if this fits in, I will, all being well, stick that in there. It's a bit of a beast, replacing a 50 with a 58, but I do need 4K monitors, so I don't want to spend any money. So this particular TV I think cost me 20 quid, and the main board is worth an absolute fortune. So I'm going to get the main board and I'm going to start putting it in, and then we'll test. This TV is very grubby. You'll see when I turn around the other side, you're looking at the pristine inside. We may even have a smashed screen. I paid 20 quid for the main board, not for the TV, but if the TV does work and I can clean it up, then I will use it as a monitor. And I just noticed that last clip wasn't in 4K. There's so many things you have to touch and press and remember, and it's getting frustrating. You should just press one button and record in 4K, but no. Oh no. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing if this TV even comes on, because before we repaired the board, I wasn't even getting a standby light, which again is another fault of the EMC chip. EMMC chip, to be precise. But why say two M's when you only have to say one? Anyway, so pretty straightforward putting everything back in. I shouldn't say that, should I? Because then it turns out to be not very straightforward. But I think that's all the wires in. It's not the easiest thing. It's not the easiest board to take off. I mean, A, it's a Panasonic, so expect more screws than you need. But anyway, let's get this in, let's get this on, and then I won't be wiring it up. I mean, I'll be testing it tonight, just to make sure that it works. I won't be wiring it into my computer system tonight, because that's a whole different job. That's a daytime job with dry weather. I think that's it. I think that's all the screws. Now I've put the back on. I've put a couple of screws in. That's all I'm putting in. Obviously, if you're doing this at home, and you've got the board back, you need to put all the screws in. The reason I'm not putting all the screws in is because on a regular basis I will be taking this main board out and sending it to a customer. So this is just going to be my board test set. Right. But as yet, I'm still not convinced. How am I going to do this? It's heavy set, and it's still got what looks like a stand on. It hasn't got its stand on. It's got kind of a sticky out bit at the bottom, which acts like a stand. But the main stand for this is just a block of lead. I mean, it is so heavy. This TV is so heavy, but the stand, and I had to carry this TV with its stand, and I'm getting on a bit now. I had to carry this TV across a main road. I thought I could do it, and I really, really struggled. I really struggled. Now, I'm going to have to readjust the cameras, because I'm going to have to lift this up, and it's going to block out that camera. So I'm going to switch to the other camera, which means, yeah, it's only going to be HD, but it'll be okay for what we need. Right. There's lots of scratches and some real gooky marks on this screen just about here, but hopefully they are just marked. I can't see anything too smashed at the moment. Right, I'm just going to plug in to see if I do get a standby light. Yes. So I've got a red light here. I might as well use a Panasonic remote rather than the button at the bottom. See if it comes on. And it does. And the screen is okay. Sorry about the lines that you're seeing. That's great. Right, so I can give it a bit of a clean up then, I suppose, is the next thing to do. Put it back into standby and clean it up. Right, I've managed to take off the lower support stand so I can fit it on my desk, but with this gimbal camera, it's probably not going to give you a true reflection of what I'm trying to say, because every time I turn it down, it goes up. But you can see here that I'm struggling to get a 58-inch on the bench, and bearing in mind it's supposed to be going over there. It will go over there. I think I've had a 50. I think I've had one of these on here before. I do, but anyway, it's on here temporarily now. I've hooked up the computer to it. I've taken off the little support stand. I think I said that. But my goodness, it still weighs a ton. It still weighs a ton. And the amazing thing is, you're probably seeing the picture now. I've given it a bit of a clean. I haven't got a Panasonic remote here. Can you believe that? I haven't got a Panasonic remote here. Not a normal Panasonic remote. I know you don't believe me, but I haven't. So I'm going to have to buy a Panasonic remote for this particular TV so I can use it. I'm going to have to buy some in. So there's a chance I can't set this up because it's asking me to choose whether it's shop or home. Quite frankly, I just can't make that choice at the moment. Oh, that's incredible. How can you be a TV repair place without a Panasonic remote? That's dreadful. I'm such an idiot. I've just rebooted the computer, forgetting that I'm recording something using the computer. So on HDMI 4, it's not letting me go to 4K settings. Interesting, because the other TV does. I don't know, but the main thing is the TV is working now, and it's not as bad as I thought it was, but it is done. So you know the model number because I've put it up on the screen. If you've got a Panasonic or one of these, whether it's a 50-inch, I think they go from 50 to 58. I can't see the point in doing a 55 and a 58. So I think they do a 50 and a 58. They may do a 42, but I don't think so. I think more than likely 50, 58 and 65. But if you've got one that's stuck on the Panasonic logo, just get in touch. And later on in the week I shall be sticking this over there. But anyway, it's done, it's working. Thanks very much for watching, and we've got a 42-inch Vestel to do tomorrow. I bet you're excited about that, aren't you? I'm going to put some backlights in it, but I'm not going to put I'm not going to put new backlights in. No, I tell a lie. I am putting new backlights in, but not the original backlights for the set. I'm going to put a set in from a Philips So we're going to muck around. It's another one of these TVs it's not worth spending any money on, but we'll have a play with that. I'm going to do that tomorrow night, all being well. Thanks for watching. Take care.